All right. We are going live right now on Facebook. Hello. Hello, everybody. It said it's setting it up. All right. I think we're on.
Okay.
I think we're on right now. Let me see. Do I see it? Hi, Facebook. Hi, those watching us on Zoom. I am so excited to introduce one of the amazing speakers for the Well-Made Woman event. And before I even get to that, let me introduce myself, because just by chance, if you don't know who I am Dr. Trashaun. I am the founder of Relatable. I am a life and marriage coach, and I help women love their husbands without making him over, which is such a fun task to do. And a lot of my work centers around helping women improve the relationship that they have with themselves. And I believe that part of that is really looking at your life from a big picture and really understanding who you are, loving who you are, and living your most fulfilled and desired life. And so it's really with that intention and with that frame of mind that I've created this event called the Well-Made Woman, which is all about helping women to intentionally create the life that they really want. We all know that life will throw you curveballs, life will throw you challenges, life will throw you a lot of different circumstances, but this event is really about empowering you to be the driver of your life, no matter what you are being confronted with. And so we will be gathering on March the 7th in Edison, New Jersey, and this beautiful woman I have with me will be one of our panel presenters. And so I'm very excited to introduce her to you and to share just a little bit more about why it's so important that what she has experienced and what she's done with that be shared with more people. So I'm gonna let her introduce herself, and then we're gonna dive in so that you can get to know her and get to know her story as well. So Trashaun, go ahead, take it away.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and our Zoom family. My name is Trashaun Powell, and I am one of your dynamic speakers for the Well-Made Women event. And I'm so excited to talk with everyone tonight about turning our pain into purpose.
Yeah. So Trashaun, why don't you, I reached out to you and you immediately said yes. And we talked about, how your story can benefit the people that attend this event. And I want you to just walk us through just like a snapshot of your journey and what you hope people get out of it.
So a snapshot, about 7 years ago, first time I was pregnant. My husband and I just recently got married. We were so excited, just like newlyweds. We just found out around Christmas time that we were pregnant and that we were having a girl. So we were so excited about that experience. And I'm sure new mothers and expecting mothers and mothers just know that experience about just finding out you're having a girl. And I was so excited. And a week later, I was 6 months pregnant. We were rushed to the hospital, and I developed what is called HELP syndrome. And HELP syndrome is a severe variant of preeclampsia. And so at 23 weeks pregnant, unfortunately, I had to deliver early. And I was placed in the ICU unit, and my daughter was born at 1 pound, 1 ounce. She was born at 23 weeks. And 2 days later, unfortunately, she passed away. And so that's how I started the pain process. I didn't know the purpose process of this.
Yeah.
And it was really, really hard for us at that point, really going home with, no baby after having a baby. It was very hard to just tell everyone what happened, and having my friends come to the ICU to visit us and just not having the words to say that my child has died. Our firstborn child has died. That was very, very hard for us to deal with, being newlyweds at the time. And so that started our journey to really talk about this and really delve into this topic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for that. It is I remember the very first time I heard you speak about this, and it just like pierced my heart, literally. And I never forgot the story and just the impact it had on your life. And seeing you and knowing this happened on the other side, it was just such a beautiful testimony, one, to the goodness of God, but also to just like your intentionality, right? And so it's kind of like you said, like, of course, it's just the pain and you're just wading through the pain and you're just trying to survive through the pain. But eventually you turned that pain into something else. And so tell us just a little bit about what you're doing now, given the experience that you had.
So given the experience I had, one, I went on to have two more kids. So yes, after that experience in 2013, we welcomed a beautiful full pound, our full, I went to
Full term.
gestation
Yeah.
full term this time. I had my daughter, another daughter at that point, my first daughter, Mia Jane Powell. Unfortunately, she passed away. And we had another daughter, Jasmine Elizabeth Powell, and we welcomed her on July 17th. So we were very excited about that. My family thought, hey, that's enough, right? Every time I'm
Yeah.
pregnant, everyone gets so nervous. I get so nervous. My husband gets so nervous. And then we welcomed another child. So now I have a son, Ryan, and we welcomed him 2 years ago. So now I have two beautiful kids after that experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so glad. I'm so, so glad that I have two beautiful kids. I am very healthy. They are healthy as well. And I'm so excited for that. I have now partnered with the Preeclampsia Foundation. I am now one of the co-chairs of the New Jersey Promise Walk for Preeclampsia. I also sit on the Racial Disparities Task Force with the Preeclampsia Foundation. And I'm using those experiences and my experiences to really help mothers, especially mothers of color, to really have the conversation about the maternal health crisis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I love, your walk and seeing Mia Jane and your little hashtags and all the things that you're doing in honor of her. And I think that is so beautiful. So why don't you tell me, given again your transition of turning this pain into something that is a promise, really the promise walk, right? Tell me more about when you think about being a well-made woman and when you think about living life with intention, what does that look like for you?
I'm still figuring it out, to be honest. Most people think well-made means successful or overarching profession, and most times something that is more tangible. Well-made to me means peace. It means happiness. It means finding that balance and living more of a balance-free life. It's kind of hard at times when you're trying to find that balance and you're trying to devote your time to really strengthen your goals and time management. But when you really find that balance, I would consider yourself well-made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, striving for peace. I love that. So tell me, what made you want to be a part of this event?
Well,
Besides the fact that I asked
you
you, and
asked.
I'm pretty awesome.
Well, you asked. So for me, as a proud feminist, any event to empower women, I would love to be a part of. As a young professional woman of color, it's hard at times, like I talked about before, balancing life and kids and work and marriage and other opportunities and other areas of your life, and really taking time aside to really devote time to yourself and empower yourself is always a good thing and always a good event to attend.
Yeah, awesome. Um, I'm curious to know, like, as you think about the experience you had, right? It's a trauma, right? It's a trauma, it's loss, it's a devastating experience that no one would raise their hand to go through, but you survived and now you're on the other side intentionally thriving, right? It's a process still, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I want you to think about like some advice, like the best advice that you received or the best realization you came to that helped you through your journey.
So the best advice that I received in that area was to really take each day one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Try not to look for the silver lining right away. I had to really take time to sit in that period of grief, the period of aloneness, the period of sadness, and really just be. That's really hard at the time. I wanted to just engage in busy work. Most of us, when we go through traumas, we just want to stay busy and we want to engage in busy work and stay busy and just not feel. But what that really does is it masks the hurt, it masks the trauma, it masks the pain that occurred. And it took a long time for me to be able to say that. It took a long time.
Yeah.
I did the very exact thing. I stayed busy. I didn't want to be around pregnant people. My best friend was pregnant at the same time that I was. I tried not to go to many events with her or to be around her because I was still grappling with the fact of why me? Why did this happen? And I was really hurt. And I really took on a lot of roles. I tried to stay busy at work. I took on extra roles at work, just not to feel the pain. And going back to work after 4 months after the trauma had occurred, it was hard to see people because they wanted to ask, but they didn't. And everyone would look at me with those sad eyes to say, I feel sorry for you, but they wouldn't say that, but you felt it in their eyes. And that was really, really, really hard for me, not really fully grasping how I would feel or what would I say if someone asked me. And I sought therapy. I went to counseling. I prayed. My church family really prayed for me. My family prayed for me. I have a supportive husband and family who really prayed for us to get through this together. And I realized after going through that experience, the best advice is really to take one day at a time, because grief, although it has its stages, sometimes they don't happen in the stage that they were supposed to happen. Sometimes it just like a Mack truck, it kind of just hits you and you're like, wait a minute, I thought I was over this. And here I am 7 years later, I'm still crying. I still get triggered at times. I do. But really keeping her memory alive and going to the promise walks and being on a lot of task force and even being a speaker at this event, it helps me that Mia Jane will always be purpose for me. It will always be an experience that, yes, this was painful for me. I thought I wouldn't be able to talk about this. I thought that this would be the end for me. And yet I've really taken this experience and just the trauma of this experience and really moved the work forward with the help of the Promise Walk, with the help of Team Mia Jane, my supporters, my friends, my family. And they're really, I have 2 beautiful kids. I'm really so excited about that. And that really, they keep me busy. But it makes me smile and it makes me happy that, after that experience, I was strong enough to try again. I was strong enough to be hopeful. I was strong enough to have faith and know that God would see me through and God would see us through. And that on the other side of that we would be okay.
Yeah, that is so beautiful. I can't wait to talk more with you at the event about the process and the decision to try to have more children, right? So you talked a little bit about the fear that everyone around you had. And I think, whether people listening have experienced a loss or trauma like that, we all are confronted with fear where we have an experience in the past that then colors how we think we should behave in the future. And so again, when we think about this idea of the well-made woman, one of those things that we'll be working on in the event is really letting go of the fear and really leaning into what's possible as opposed to being past focused on the problems. So I'm just so proud to call you friend, and I'm so excited to feature you at the event because I know that what you have to share will inspire someone. Everyone has experienced some sort of loss or some sort of disappointment that they need to grieve and make sense of and turn into purpose. And I think you are just a phenomenal example of that. And can't wait for the people to hear more at the event.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Trashaun.
Of course.
We will, I can't wait to see you in a couple of weeks. Those of you watching, definitely keep in touch with her. So Trashaun, if people do want to learn more about what you're doing or follow you or follow your page, where should they find you? Like, where's the best place for people to find you and stay connected to what you're doing?
So they can also find me on Twitter and Instagram at Team Mia Jane. Also follow us on the Promise Walk on Instagram at Promise Walk New Jersey. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thank you all for tuning in. And again, tickets are on sale for the Well-Made Woman. Definitely be there. We would love to see you. All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.